Welcome back. This is Marc Rudov, branding advisor to CEOs and author of 3 books on branding and 1 book on lying. You can get all my books at marcrudov.com/books. Today's topic, why UPS means the uncaring parcel service. Today is January 6th, 2025. January 6th. Why does that date sound so familiar to me? I don't know. It rings a bell. But today I received my new Rosewood Fender Telecaster, as you can see in this picture. This is the same guitar George Harrison used on the rooftop concert, which was January 30th, 1969, and the Let It Be album, which was mostly produced in 1969, actually finished in 1970. It was the last Beatles album. And what's fascinating is that of all the guitars George Harrison had, he chose this one for the rooftop concert, which was the last performance ever of the Beatles together. It was January 30th, 1969. You can see George in several poses with this guitar. It's an iconic guitar, and that's why I bought it. And it was none too cheap. I ordered this guitar on December 31st, 2024, New Year's Eve day. I ordered it from the Guitar Center in Arlington, Texas, because there were only 3 available in the whole country. Sweetwater had none in stock and said there wouldn't be any more for 4 months. So I knew I had to move on this. Now let's look at this timeline. Guitar Center created a UPS label at 12:52 p.m. Central Time. I purchased overnight delivery. Now this is December 31st, so I'm assuming that I'll get it on January 2nd, the day after New Year's Day. What I didn't know was that UPS was closed on December 31st. December 31st is not a holiday, but UPS was closed. This created quite a backlog in the UPS system for after the new year. So let's move to Thursday, January 2nd, when I assume I'm going to receive my guitar. I don't see any movement in the UPS system because I track everything on the app. A driver picked up my guitar and other guitars at Guitar Center in Arlington, Texas at 4:40 p.m. Central Time on January 2nd. It wasn't scanned in until 9:40, 5 hours later. I don't know what the driver was doing, but because of him, he missed the flight to Pittsburgh. And for that, this driver has been disciplined, maybe even fired, I don't know. So now it's Friday, January 3rd, and my guitar is still in Arlington, Texas. I'm outraged because I've paid for overnight shipping. Now, because Guitar Center is very customer-oriented, the manager of the store refunded my shipment fee. He said, you paid for overnight, you didn't get it, I'm refunding your fee. Unfortunately, UPS didn't have the same attitude. I wrote to the CEO, Carol Tomei, and her lieutenants in the C-suite. A couple of hours later, somebody from the corporate response center called me, and she lied to me. She said two things. You're not going to receive your guitar until January 6th. And I said, there's no excuse for that. I paid for overnight delivery and I expect it. She also told me that my guitar was in transit. I asked her, where is it? She said, I don't know, but I know it's in transit. Well, that was a lie. It was still in the Arlington depot. I said, I'm so angry at you, I'm going to write another email to the CEO, which I did, and the same lieutenants, describing my conversation with this woman and my outrage. I got a call later in the day from the dispatcher at UPS in Arlington, Texas. She apologized profusely and said that she would upgrade me to Saturday delivery. Let's move to Saturday, January 4th. It arrived at Pittsburgh at 6:02 a.m. Eastern Time, and it never moved from there. It was in the depot all day Saturday, all day Sunday. This morning, January 6th, I see on my app, it's on the delivery truck out for delivery at 9:13 a.m. I received it 4 hours and 20 minutes later at my door, 1:33 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, I live in a building, yet the driver brought the guitar to my door, and I was just returning from the grocery store. And he looked at me and he said, do you know the CEO of UPS? I said, not exactly. Why do you ask? Well, I have special instructions because of the CEO to deliver this to your door. And then I told him the entire saga that I'm explaining to you. And he apologized. Interesting that people who have contact with customers really respect customers. But people in the ivory tower, not so much. Let's look at UPS's website. UPS is 117 years old. There aren't that many options when you want to ship something. You have FedEx, you have Amazon, you have DHL, you have UPS. That's about it. UPS is a $91 billion company. Revenues are down 2.6% in 24 versus 23, and it operates at a 9.6% margin. Look at this. Customer first, people-led, innovation-driven. And then there's this little blurb that I copied for you here. It says, as we close out 2024, we're thinking of our amazing customers. Your trust in us means the world, and we couldn't be more grateful. We appreciate your confidence in UPS. Thank you. Customer first? Trust, appreciate, grateful, confidence? I'm thinking more uncaring and unreliable. Now, if you treat your customers like this, and you're not one of three in the oligarchy controlling your industry, you're going to become unprofitable, unsuccessful, and unemployed. Now, I've told you in the past that a brand is not a name, it's not a company, it's not a product. It's visceral. It's an emotional connection the customer has with a vendor or a voter with a politician. So today, as I'm sitting here, realizing that overnight to UPS apparently means 6 nights, the CEO knew fully well that she had the authority to get that guitar to me no later than Saturday. She didn't do it. The dispatcher in Arlington, Texas must have been overruled because she said she was going to upgrade me to Saturday delivery. That didn't happen. And I told them, it's only a 3-hour flight from Dallas to Pittsburgh, Arlington being a suburb of Dallas. They didn't care. The best I got was delivery to my door, which was nice, and that let a little bit of air out of my anger balloon. So what is the brand of UPS to me after all of this experience? Well, I think about the color of the truck. Brown. I've been around horses. Horses produce a lot of brown. You don't want to step in it because that'll mess up your shoes. UPS stepped in it. Overnight means overnight. It doesn't mean 6 nights. It doesn't mean 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. It means 1 night. So UPS stepped in it, and brown is very fitting. I hope you're watching, Carol, and I hope you've learned your lesson. This is Marc Rudov. Until next time.